Welcome to the Healthy and Wealthy and Wise podcast with global sales trainer and professional speaker, Lois Kofi. Each week, it is her goal to share inspiration and education for you to be, do, have the best health and wealth and wisdom for your life.
Well, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. This is a special episode of Healthy and Wealthy and Wise. I am Lois Kofi, bringing you another amazing guest today that's going to help you with your health, wealth, and wisdom, because it's all about delegation and outsourcing. I want to dive right in because this is a special topic that's near and dear to my heart. Ever since I was 22, I was always told by my first mentors, Lois, you can't do it all yourself. You gotta ask for help. If you don't have an assistant, you are the assistant. And as entrepreneurs and solopreneurs, right, we're all juggling things. In fact, you might hear right now in the background, my daughter is finishing up her music class, right? So we're all in the thick of this thing called the new normal and the pandemic. So I love bringing on guests like Susie today because a lot of times people think, how can I get it all done? How can I get to the next level in my career? How can I sleep more? How can I have more time with my family? How can I have time to work out, right? Because we all have a big list of to-dos every day, right? I have mine right here. And so I met Susie last year. Just really quickly, my story. I met Susie last year. She was referred to me after I was realizing, oh my gosh, I'm scaling. I'm having success. I'm working too much. I felt like a workaholic, and that is like the opposite of what I want for myself and, of course, for my clients. So, Susie, I'm going to go ahead and turn over to you because I know we have a lot to cover today. I'd love for you to share your story, your background, and how you got started helping people and referring virtual assistants to them to take some of their stuff off their plate.
Perfect. Thank you. And thanks for having me, Lois. I'm excited to be here. Hello, everybody. So I will just give you a quick recap. About 5 years ago, I started a social media management company, and I was a solopreneur and doing it all myself, and it was great. Still have that, still do social media management for many, many clients. But what I found is that a lot of my clients started asking if I could do other things for them. And I didn't. I didn't do email marketing. I didn't do, these other pieces of online businesses. So I referred out a lot of work. And then one day I thought, well, maybe I should look into that and see how I could help my clients with just more task type help for them. So I hired a VA, my first VA, in my business to help me, and quickly realized that I had been the bottleneck of my business for many years. And as soon as she came in and helped me put in some systems and some procedures to make things more efficient, I was able to scale pretty quickly. In fact, significantly dollar-wise within just about 3 to 4 months. So it was a big eye-opener for me that I definitely was stifling my own growth. And so then what I did was I started building a team of virtual assistants and sharing them with my current clients. And it's been about 2 years now. I have a great team of virtual assistants, and we help online entrepreneurs with tasks that they are being stifled, right? They're the ones now that come to us because they, like you said, are living a life that maybe is not what they expected when they thought they'd be an entrepreneur. They kind of wanted to be in charge of their schedule, in charge of their life, and they find that the business is running them. Sleep, working out, time with your family, time for your mindset work, all these important things we kind of put aside. And then we find out one day maybe we're not as happy as we would like to be. So just coming in and getting certain tasks off your plate can open up a whole new, day for you, or a whole new lifestyle for you, and also help you grow your business at the same time.
Yeah, it's so true. One of my favorite mentors is Jim Rohn, and he's long, left us, but he always says, do you run your day, Lois, or do you let the day run you? And especially with all of the different social media platforms. I mean, we can all get shiny object syndrome. We can all get distracted. And then when we get frustrated because things aren't changing, things aren't happening fast enough, the bills aren't getting paid fast enough, it's really quite a big deal for me. So I'm excited to help you share and unpack the importance of, some people say this to me, I'd love to hear your answer to this, Susie, is I can't afford an assistant. I'm not
Right.
there yet. And I always say, oh my gosh, you can't not afford one, because once I hired virtual assistants last summer, even before I found your amazing pricing and amazing team, I was just like, oh, having more headspace, having more time to myself to think and not just be that hamster on a wheel, that allowed me to make more money. Like I went from 4 figures to 5 figures a month, almost, not quite overnight. It was really more like 90 days, but I couldn't have done that. So the investment I made up front paid me back tenfold. But how can you explain how you work with people and why you're so darn affordable, and any other things that you want to share? I'll let you take over.
So I will say that that's very common, right? I can't afford it. And so a couple things with that. It's one of those things where you have to have a little bit of faith, because until you do it and then realize that now, like, I can't live without my virtual assistant now. Like, I wouldn't be able to run my business without her. But there's that little bit you have to kind of, dig deep a little bit and figure out, okay, I need to set aside some funds to get this going. And so once it gets going, then you'll see the return very quickly. So what I did for my clients was, I knew that that is a big issue, right? Affordability, especially when you're building a business, right? Every penny counts. So I went to international wise when I started building my team of virtual assistants. So, and I live in Mexico. I'm originally from California, but my husband and I have been traveling for about the last 5 years, working online and living in different countries. So I had exposure to a lot of different people with a lot of different people with a lot of great skills. So I knew that I could outsource to other countries and be able to help people with a really good living for where they are. The majority of my VAs are in the Philippines, also some in Latin America, but the majority in the Philippines. And I knew what a great living wage for them was, right? So I knew that I could help them provide for their families. I could also help my clients with a really great service at an affordable price, and I could still be profitable. So to me, that was a triple win. And with all of those pieces in place, that's how I've gone and grown our business. So that's why we're so affordable, because they are mostly based in the Philippines. And there's another little unforeseen, how do I say it, benefit, is that we can also shorten the working curve, is kind of how I like to say it. So I can say to my VAs today, this morning when we have our meeting, I would love to have such and such done. And then I go to bed, but she's up on her time, because we're opposite times, so she can get it done. I wake up in the next morning and it's done. So it's like shortens the curve of time there, how long it takes things to be done. So I didn't really realize that for a while until I was really working with my whole team. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm getting double the work done in a very short amount of time. So that's another thing you don't really know. I don't know if you're experiencing that, Lois, at all with Ann. I'm not sure, but some of our VAs will work on, depending on how you want it, on your time zone, or they'll do the opposite. So it depends.
No, I want to speak to that. I want to speak to that because I do have the advantage, guys. I have had a virtual assistant or an in-person assistant. I even had a full-time salary. I've done it all. And I will say it was very stressful last year. Before finding you, I brought on 2 virtual assistants who were in essentially the same time zone as me. And it really took me 2 months time to get on the same page, to train, to be available, to answer questions, all of the things. And they were very specialized. One of them happens to be with my Infusionsoft affiliate software. So that's a different beast altogether. And I was also overwhelmed in learning that. But what I found with you guys, there wasn't really much of a quote unquote onboarding training curve delay. You have them so well trained. They're very humble, very coachable, open to feedback, right? Because you need that, right? And you guys are always checking in. If I'm not happy, you want to know about it. And it was really, really amazing because I took my first 7, maybe 8 days off ever, like really off in probably a decade. Truth be told, right? And I was a little nervous. I just hired you guys like the week before Christmas and
Right.
said, "Here you go. Here's my business. Run it for me." And there's no way I've never done that before, guys. So the fact that, like you said too, not only can I go to bed and then wake up and a lot of things are done for me, I also don't have to micromanage. I don't have to stress because you guys are so just on top of things, and it is really cool to have that ability to get things done while you sleep and not have to have that communication during my what I call my income producing activities, which for me is usually from 8 a.m. until noon, and then I can make myself available for her. We've got a great working relationship, and you guys are fantastic at communication, even with the major time differential. So I love that. And it's taken so much off of my plate. I always like to say busy is a swear word, but I'm going to say it. I get to take that swear word out of my vocabulary because a lot of the things that you guys help me with is literally the stuff that was stressing me out, would keep me up later at night and doing a lot of the things that were taking me away from the income producing activities. So I can't thank you
Right.
enough.
Yay! And I'm so glad to hear about the communication. We pride ourselves and work every day on getting the communication down as best as we can. I mean, of course, there's, every once in a while there's internet down or whatever, just something, but we're always wanting feedback from our clients. We always want to be as efficient as we can be. And our goal is always, always to make less work for you, not more. So that's, even in the training process, we want to get that done quickly. I'm not sure if you did this, but I know some of our clients do. I think you did actually. You'll create a video on your time of a training. Like if you are creating let's say a social media post, as you're doing it, you can just, record your screen and send that to us. And so your VA can do the training on their time while you're asleep or at a different time. So we just try to put in these little things that make time efficiency, right? We're all trying to have more efficient use of our time. So I'm very happy to hear that you're happy with all of that.
Absolutely. I'd love for you to share. And guys, please, if you're watching a live, if you're listening to this later on iTunes or YouTube or all the other channels, you can always reach out to me and I can get you connected to Susie. But explain, I'll share quickly what I have you guys do for me, but I know that there's a plethora of things that you can do. So I have them help out with my social media posting, my social media messaging, both on LinkedIn and Facebook. I just taught a course last week, guys, where it was about permission-based social selling, and by helping people opt in to your email list and attending networking events and doing invitations, doing graphics, doing some artwork, managing posts, all of the things that can really suck us dry and be major time sucks. I can, completely gave that over. And here's the thing. At first, and I'm going to talk about your minimum hours, right? It's 4 hours a day, guys. So 4 times 7 is $28. It's roughly $500 a month investment. I made the back myself. In my first weekend, I was even gone on Christmas Day, able to take a break. I had a $5,000 ROI while I was on break because I outsourced things to these guys and they took it off my plate and kept my business going instead of, oh no, I took my time off. What am I going to do? Thought process, right? So I know you do stuff for some of my other people I've referred. You do landing pages. You've helped out with email, but tell them more about, what you guys are capable of doing. And know that, guys, at first I thought, oh, I don't know, am I going to be able to, it wasn't even just about the money. I thought one of my immediate objections, Susie, was I don't think I have enough for them to do in 4 hours a day.
Right.
And
Very
now I'm like,
common. Very
oh my
common.
gosh, yeah. And I can't wait to go to full time because I'm really close to being ready for that. So tell them more about how that all works.
Yeah. So that's actually, I would say on 99% of the phone calls, that is always what somebody says is, I don't know if I have enough time. Can we do like, can I start with 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day? And we did, when I first started, I did do that. And what I found quickly was that number one, everybody has 4 hours a day of work that they can take off their plate. And really what we're looking for is we're not just looking for little things, right, that help a little bit. We want to make like um, a profound change in your business, right? Either through scalability or giving you more time or both. So only just kind of investing in a couple hours a week, you just kind of get some good results is the way I look at it. So that's when I switched to the 4 hour minimum and have found that now, we are able to get really great things done for our clients. So when people do say that, what I like to do is, my first question is, let's talk about the top 3 to 5 things that you find yourself every day doing that you don't like. Let's just talk about those first, that you wish you didn't have to do. Most people, it's creating social media. It is returning emails. They're trying to figure out how to book on their calendar, like their Google Calendar with Calendly or something like that. So a lot of it's admin tasks that just really take up a lot of time that can easily be delegated with just a one Zoom call, right? Or one video explaining how you'd like things done. So that's how I first start with people. And then I refer them to my website because on my website under services, we have lists of different tasks organized in different areas. So like under customer service, under social media, under email marketing. We do a lot of help with email marketing, setting up campaigns, things like that. We also have a whole section under follow-up, right? So following up with people commenting on social media, following up with maybe you've had sales calls with people that kind of didn't go anywhere then, right? So we want to get them on a follow-up schedule. We do tons and tons of LinkedIn lead generation. That's a big one for a lot of our clients because LinkedIn is a great place. We love it. I love it. It's my favorite spot to be when I'm doing my marketing. But it takes a lot of time, and there's a nurturing process that goes on with clients and building relationships and things like that. So all these things, these tasks that probably are on your to-do list that you kind of probably don't get to most of the time, we can come in and help you with. So I do say our VAs can pretty much help you with anything that you need done that's legal, right? So that's kind of my caveat. It's legal, and you have to be able to, show them how to do it because they don't come in. Our VAs have a very vast amount of general software experience. General, I call them a general VA. Like they have a lot of experience in a lot of different things. But of course, there is a time where you need to train them specifically on how you want your graphics to look, or when to come out. This is a little bit of training to tailor it to exactly what you want. The other thing I'll throw in there is we also do a lot of phone calls to people. So we work with a lot of, let's say, real estate agents. So we can do cold calling. We have people on our team that have been in many, many years experience in outsource phone call centers and things like that. So we work with people that have a list and we do cold calls for them using their scripts, or we help them create scripts. So things like that. Nobody really likes to do cold calls, so that's a very popular service that people hire us for. Because our people, they like it. It's their career. They've made a career out of doing cold calling for people. So pretty much anything you can think of that you don't really like to do, or you just know that your time is better spent on sales calls or on interviews or those income producing activities like you mentioned. Yeah.
Absolutely. We've had some good questions here. I'm going to go ahead and answer those for you guys. So okay. Karen asked, can you do bookkeeping?
So we can do bookkeeping. I have my bookkeeper that does my bookkeeping for my business. That's definitely a phone call. So that wouldn't be what I call a general VA. That would be something that you and I could talk about, and then I can have you interview a few bookkeepers. That's a little more intense and personal, I guess the word is. Definitely I have resources for that and I can help with that. But that's not like the general, and it would be more expensive. As well,
Okay. And that's a good point. You do have
yeah,
a price differential, yeah, for different things that are above
yeah,
and beyond.
right. So we do
Okay,
have our
cool.
specialists. So we do a lot of website work. We do website building. We do copywriting, things like that. We do a lot of video editing that can take place. We do podcast management. We can do all of those pieces. Those are definitely going to be at a higher price. And it kind of depends. I call that project work. So I would have a conversation to find out exactly, even with, let's say, video editing, there's an easy couple tweaks, right, in video editing, or there's full on all types of work that goes on with that. So depending on what you need, then I can get you a specific price.
Yeah, Karen
But it
had a
is
funny
outsourced
quote. She said, well,
yeah.
if you raise her ROI doing all the other stuff, she can go and hire
Right.
another bookkeeper.
That's true. That's very true. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so we have another good
And I love
question
my
from Awesome. So Sean, he's a fellow coach, just like me. And so I can speak to this, Sean. It's been very, very, I've been having you guys work with me since before Christmas, and I've had zero issues with this. But he's talked to coaching clients into using a VA, but one of the biggest objections, they're worried about security of their contact information, their databases. What do you do in regards to security?
Right. So we have everybody sign an NDA. You can either use ours or we're happy to sign yours. And the VA signs it as well. So is that what you're talking about, just as far as your contacts and things like that? We also use a password management system. So we use LastPass. So we are very in charge and aware of passwords. So we have the password, like I do, because I own the agency, and we use LastPass, and then just your VA is the only person that we give access to. So we, even within our agency, we make sure that only particular people have access to your passwords for things like that. Yeah, I mean, and of course there is a level of trust, right? Because you are bringing someone into your business. So yeah, that's pretty much on the first level how we deal with that, and the NBA people are usually comfortable once we present that to them.
Yeah, and I guess I'm one of those people, since I've had a VA for a really long time, Sean, I would just tell them they got to have faith. We can't hold on to everything, right? We have to, release it, and even just, some of the things that may not necessarily be as security issued, maybe you start there, and then over time they have trust, and then they give over more. But I've also had virtual assistants for a really long time and have never had any issues. And I've had people inside of my databases and all of that kind of stuff. So I think it's just a matter of taking the plunge and seeing the benefits and the value. Do you have any really cool testimonials from past clients or any stories that you'd like to share?
Well, my own story, which I kind of alluded to before, but I'll just kind of fill in the blanks on that. I was able to, with my social media management company, when I was doing it all myself, brought in my one VA, Omi, which I know you know Omi. He was able to free things up and make me so much more efficient. And within 3 months, I doubled my clients and I doubled my income. So that was a huge eye opener for me that I could do that in 90 days, right? So I took that, and then I was able to build the VA business, again, within 3 to 4 months into a 6-figure business. So, and all of that is outsourced, right? So I only do my sales calls and client interaction because I built that team and was able to actually add a second 6-figure business within a relatively short amount of time. So that's why I am such a strong believer in that. It's super important to get that help, right? And also, again, you got to take the plunge, have a little faith, all of those good things. But you'll be really, really surprised on how quickly things can happen once you kind of step out of the way of being the bottleneck. That's the main thing. And then, of course, we have a lot of clients who they came to us with pieces of everything, pieces of their online business, pieces of their course they created, everything kind of fragmented for their online business. And so we were able to help with the help of some strategy that I helped them with. Now they have an online business that they're able to hire VAs for, and it's kind of running, not on autopilot, but running very well for them while they sleep. They're making money. It's the thing that everybody wants when they start an online business, right? They want to be able to leverage their time and things like that. So we have a lot of happy clients that are now able to leverage their time, and delegation is the way to do that for sure.
That's awesome. I love it. And we have another question here. And Barrett says he's had a VA from another country. She was great, but her accent made people uncomfortable in the US with giving information. He stopped using her, loved working with her. Can you answer that question?
Yep.
Do your VAs have accents?
So we have ranges in the Philippines, which I found, which is very interesting. I didn't know this at the beginning, but they start learning English as soon as they start school and speaking it. So a huge part, a huge portion of the Filipinos, speak really good English. So when we hire and we start sourcing and interviewing VAs to add to our team, that's one of the requirements, is that they speak and write really great English. But then even within that, there's variance, and there's some people are more comfortable with less of an accent. So I have a range. I'm actually presenting some videos. So what we do is, if you wanted to hire us and we start sourcing a virtual assistant for you, we can send you they do videos for us. So along with their resume is also video and voice samples for you. So today I have a gentleman who is going to be reviewing 3 videos, because he's really looking for someone with minimal accent. So we're going to send him 3 people to start with, and then he'll decide who he wants to interview. If none of them, then we'll send him a next set so he can interview. And I'll just talk about that for a second. We do it a couple different ways. He wants to interview people. Some people the majority of people just let us do the matchmaking, because we're good at it. And we know what you're going to be having them do, and we know who we think will be the best at it. Or also, it might be 2 or 3 people that we're actually having the work done behind the scenes, but you just have one VA that you're in contact with. I guess I would also say, if you're not having your VA doing phone calls, then I guess it doesn't probably even matter really, if they're just, depending on what tasks they're doing, right? But if they're doing a lot of outbound calling, and that is something that is important, then we can definitely tailor that to your needs.
Awesome. Yeah, and I can speak to that too. I was blown away by that at first I was a little skeptical about, working with your team, and it was different. I'll just be honest, guys. It was a different experience. Most of my VAs were always English speaking, referrals based, and Susie was a referral too. In fact, I had to chuckle. You actually prospected me on LinkedIn like a year and a half ago, and I never replied. And so I was going to tease you. Why didn't you follow up with me more? No, I'm just kidding. I wish I would have found you sooner. So we do have another question, and this is, I already sort of answered this. However, because I said I didn't think I had, even me, I didn't think I had 4 hours a day that you guys could fill, right? But for new entrepreneurs, there's a question. If I don't have 4 hours per day, is there any way that you consider a different arrangement or different schedule?
In the past, yes, but currently, no. And that is just exactly what I kind of said earlier, was that you'll end up not getting what you really need. And then we end up with clients that they're kind of like, well, it was okay, right? We want to make people happy and make huge differences in their business. I will refer you to my website, where you may want to look at all the lists that we can do, everything we can do, because that really gets your mind thinking. Most people don't really even realize that they can outsource a huge number of things. So that's a great place to look at. And most likely you'll be like, oh, I could use help with that. I could use help with that. You go down the list. So yeah, I guess if you're really just looking for like a specific task for a very short amount of time, you can always try Upwork, and put in what you're looking for on one of the freelancer websites. That would be a suggestion if you're just looking kind of for piecework.
Awesome.
There's a few
Awesome.
websites like that out there.
Yeah, I have referred a lot of people to you, and you have even referred people to Upworks. So she's saying Upworks. If you don't know what that is, it's UPWORK or ERK. I forget.
Yes. Okay. UPWORK.com. Yeah.
Yeah. Go to Upwork.com. But I I love that you have like minimums though. You have standards. Because I hate to say it, guys, but I just was blown away. I'm going to transition to 8 hours a day very soon because there's so much that they took off my plate. Now I can do even more, and I can see all of the things that they can do for me and what's possible. So don't underestimate yourself. Really, if you want to connect with Susie, I'm going to just say, guys, go ahead. The easiest and best way is probably is that okay, Susie, if I have them email me and I'll do an email introduction? Because Susie's schedule is packed. She's got a lot going on, and I can do a proper introduction and make sure you have access to her and her amazing team. And I know, I believe Sean. And right here, do you have a list or document that details all the possible things? I can get you, make sure you get her website, Sean. So if you just want to shoot me an email, guys, I would love to introduce you guys to Susie and her team. And you do a free consultation, right? So it's like no big deal to just have a conversation.
Right, exactly. Yep. And then we can kind of figure out if you're somebody that, like Lois came to us, she had a list, right? She knew what she needed help with, and we were able to just plug in and get moving. Some people are at the point where they're not even sure what they need. They just are overwhelmed and have a ton of stuff and a ton of pieces that they're trying to kind of get together. So I can also help personally with strategy. If you need to take a step back and kind of have a plan created for you, I also do that, and I'm happy to share more information about that with you if you're somebody that isn't at the point yet that you even know what you need, but you know you need help to get to where you want to go. So we can talk about
that's
that.
Awesome. Perfect. And I was going to say, reach out to me also if you email me, and then I can introduce you to Susie that way. I also will give you some free time to kind of guide you through what you might need as well. I don't normally do that, but because of this call today, because I coach on this stuff, guys. I coach my clients. If you don't have an assistant, you're wasting time and money, and you're leaving a lot of money on the table. You can't do it all. You just can't. So I would be happy to provide you guys with that support. I have one more question for you before we end. I don't see any other questions. So guys, we're going to wrap this up here. It's been amazing having you here today, Susie. And I'm excited to have you answer this question because I know you, like me, have a passion for health and fitness. So when you hear the phrase healthy and wealthy and wise, Susie, what does that mean for you?
First, let's see, healthy and wealthy and wise. First is mindset, right? You have to be in an abundance mindset. You have to look at things positively. It's hard to grow a business if you're pessimistic and complaining, or not in a space where you can grow and be positive. So health always goes to mindset for me. I've also been a health coach for many years, owned a CrossFit gym, done a bunch of stuff in health and wellness. So, of course, having a lifestyle that you can make sure that you're getting your exercise in and eating healthy and all of that, super important. And wise, using your time wisely, making sure you're getting the best bang for your buck so you can live the lifestyle that you love. That's it.
Awesome. 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 There was one more question. I think I can answer this, but I don't want to be wrong. You guys, you work with the real estate, but also mortgage industry as well. Do you have clients in that arena?
Yeah, so we do have many, like over 65 in our social media that we do social media for, email marketing and website work for. With the VAs, as of right now, we just have real estate clients that we're working with, but we definitely can do mortgage, yeah, for sure. So we do have a lot of experience.
Yeah, I think
real estate industry.
Yeah. And I just knowing what I know and having been in the real estate and mortgage industry, a VA is a VA is a VA. I don't think what you guys do is ever limited by the industry. I think, again, everyone has got to have faith and trust and learn to outsource and delegate some of that stuff off of their plate. Yeah. So.
And I will say we do a lot of that's where we do a lot of our phone calls for people too, is for real estate, doing cold calls. That's where a lot of the cold calls come in, is for realtors, definitely.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Susie. I appreciate you guys. Just one more announcement for those of you who were a part of my course last week. This is my website landing page for learning about my CRM tool, which also has email marketing, also does the social media post, and Susie's team also knows how to use this and support us on this particular platform. We're actually doing a call in about 25 minutes at the top of this next hour. So I'm back to back, and we're going to train you on how to leverage the power of this tool. But there's other days as well. If this is too short notice, we have another demo tomorrow, Friday, and of course, Saturday. So thanks, guys. Please hit the share button if you saw value in this today. Please refer your friends. And of course, until next time, we have Friday, another episode at our usual time. This was a special episode, Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific. We have Eric Beals, who is my audio tech guru, all things podcasting. He can help you with intros, outros. He can literally, all you have to do is hit record and he takes care of the rest. So no need for a podcast to be an expensive hobby or a scary thing, especially if you're like me and not into technology. So Eric's going to be bringing amazing value on Friday. So please tune in. Until next time, guys, here's to your best health, your best wealth, and your best wisdom. Bye-bye for now.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, refer a friend, and please drop me a rating or a review. If you do that, I'll reward you with a free 20-minute free coaching session on crafting your journey to your best self. Reach out to me at lois@loiscoffee.com to claim your 20-minute slot. Until next time, be healthy, wealthy, and wise.